The movie opens in 1980 Poland, where a band called Figs and Dates is seen playing music on a beach and enjoying themselves. The band includes the drummer, Andrzej, the bass player, Mietek, and the lead singer, Krysia. Moments later, two mermaid sisters, Silver and Golden, emerge from the water and watch their performance with fascination. They also soon begin singing with their enchanting voices, which mesmerizes the two men in the band. The men then approach the mermaids with curiosity, and when the lead singer notices this, she starts screaming in terror to stop them. The scene then cuts to some time later, where we see Figs and Dates performing in a nightclub and providing entertainment. Meanwhile, we see the club owner walking around and greeting customers to ensure everything is running smoothly. However, he is disturbed by a strong, lingering smell of fish and begins asking his employees where it is coming from. He even asks his security guard, who reveals he cannot smell anything because he's suffering from a cold. So the club owner advises him to go home and avoid spreading his illness. Next, the club owner approaches the kitchen, where the staff are merrily dancing and enjoying themselves. He asks them about the strong fish smell, but they also have no idea. The old man thus follows the smell and soon ends up in a room where he is shocked to find Silver and Golden locked up, but they now look like regular humans. This leaves him very annoyed, and soon the band members arrive, and Krysia explains that these two are her friend's daughters. The club owner is upset because these girls are too young to be in a nightclub, and also, the room is exclusively for authorized staff members. However, Andrzej sends his band members outside and asks the mermaids to take off their clothes. The girls oblige, after which Andrzej shows their private parts, which don't even look human. He then fetches a glass of water and pours it onto their legs, after which the girls' lower bodies suddenly begin transforming into mermaids. Upon seeing this, the club owner is stunned and asks if they are harmless, to which Andrzej responds, yes. He also states that he can get intimate with them through the hole in their tails, although it smells like fish. Next, the girls introduce themselves as Silver and Golden, and the club owner asks where they learned Polish. They reply that they learned it at the beach in Bulgaria. Later, the band members start performing another song on the stage, and when they return to the room, they find the girls in a weak and terrible state. It turns out they have become dehydrated from being out of water for too long, so Krysia tries to splash water on them, but it doesn't help. The club owner then decides to take them to a pool, where the girls begin swimming and gradually regain their strength. They are also provided with some food and snacks, which makes them very happy. With this, the owner proposes that the girls work in the club as singers and dancers, to which they happily agree. In the next scene, the girls go shopping, during which they perform a musical number and sing about the various things they are seeing for the first time. At one point, Silver falls while dancing, so Mietek quickly arrives and helps her up. The two instantly feel a strong attraction to each other, while Golden notices this and gets mad. In the next scene, the mermaid sisters are in the dressing room preparing for their first performance, and Silver seems to be growing increasingly closer to Mietek. The sisters can communicate with each other without words, so Golden asks if she wants to swim all the way to America, to which Silver agrees. Golden then teases her, asking what would happen if she falls in love with the boy and if she will eat him, but Silver gets nervous and stays silent. Sometime later, the duo arrives on stage with the other band members, where the club owner introduces them to the crowd. The sisters begin singing in their beautiful voices, which captivates everyone, especially the men. On top of that, the girls jump into a giant tub filled with water, revealing their true mermaid forms, and the excited crowd cheers for them. The show becomes a huge success, and at the end of the performance, Mietek suddenly kisses Silver, while Golden watches them with anger. Later, the girls are in the dressing room, where Krysia appears and praises them for their stunning performance, though Golden doesn't seem too enthusiastic. Meanwhile, outside, we see a man smoking, while his head is marked with large, strange scars. In another scene, we see the mermaid sisters living at the house with the band members, and Silver is singing with Mietek. Meanwhile, Golden feels a deep melancholy and begins singing about her loneliness and how much she longs for the water. She drifts around the house while freezing everyone in time, though her sister Silver hears her singing the entire time. Golden then retreats to the bathtub to immerse herself and feel alive again. Sometime later, Golden returns to the club, where she approaches a man and begins subtly flirting with him. The two decide to have some fun elsewhere and proceed to leave. During this, Golden is approached by the bouncer, who asks her not to go, as he has feelings for her. Golden admits that she likes him as well, but asks him not to tell this to anyone. Back at home, Silver becomes worried about her sister's absence and begins searching for her. She soon peeks into a bathroom, where she finds Krysia and Andrzej getting intimate, which shocks her and prompts her to quickly turn away. The scene then cuts to a quiet beach where Golden is seen having fun with the guy in his car, but things take a bizarre turn when suddenly she attacks him and begins brutally devouring him. She then transforms into a mermaid and drags herself into the water while holding the man's heart in her mouth. During this, the man with the strange scar on his head watches everything from the dark but does nothing. Back in the house, Silver flirts with Mitek and then invites him to the bathroom. She then gets into the bathtub filled with water and transforms into her true mermaid form. Silver thus asks Mitek to become intimate with her. However, the guy hesitates. He tells her that despite their connection, he only sees her as an animal, a fish instead of a real person. This really breaks the poor girl's heart, so she pulls off one of her scales and offers it to him, saying he could be the first four-handed bass player in the world. Mitek reaches for it, but Silver asks for a kiss first, so he kisses her on the cheek, after which she hands him the scale. Following this, Silver begins singing a beautiful song, after which both get carried away in the moment. She then invites him to the bathtub, and he agrees, after which they are seen performing on a stage. The two are seen swimming in a large body of water, where they have fun and kiss each other. Later, they return to the house looking very happy, so the other band members begin teasing them for their growing closeness. Moments later, Golden also returns to the house, where Silver notices blood on her mouth and immediately senses something wrong. Golden insists it was just a cow she ate, but it's clear that her sister doesn't believe her. In the following days, the sisters begin performing several shows and gain fame and recognition day by day. The Mermaids eventually form their own band called The Lure, with the other 3 band members backing them up. During this time, Golden keeps noticing the guy with a scar on his head, which piques her curiosity. One evening, she approaches him for a conversation, and it turns out he's also some kind of mythical creature. He explains how he lost his 2 horns. One was taken by a fisherman, and the other he removed himself, which explains the scars. The man then praises Golden for her beauty and talent and invites her to sing in his band, which makes her very excited. He also warns her that Silver shouldn't get too close to the bass player because if she falls in love and he marries someone else, she will turn into sea foam. Furthermore, if Silver tries to remove her tail and become human, she will lose her voice, and Golden becomes worried upon hearing this. After this conversation, Golden leaves the club for some air when she is approached by a female police officer who confronts her about the man she ate a few days ago. Golden pretends to be innocent and acts like she doesn't know anything, but the officer doesn't believe her. She then decides to arrest the mermaid when, all of a sudden, Golden begins singing and dancing, which hypnotizes the woman. Golden takes the officer back to her place, where the 2 women begin getting intimate. However, at one point, the officer suddenly snaps to reality and pulls out her gun to shoot Golden, but the mermaid easily overpowers her and begins brutally devouring the woman, leading to her death. In another scene, we see Krisha and Andre getting intimate in their bed, during which Krisha begins fantasizing about the 2 mermaid girls. She is soon disturbed by the smell of fish on Andre's fingers and gets furious at him. She accuses him of boning the fish and asks him to get the hell out of there. Sometime later, Mitek and Silver return home after hanging out all night, so a mad Crisia slaps the boy, but the young couple doesn't seem worried and begins laughing and joking. Later, Golden tells her sister that she's worried for her, but Silver asks her to stop, saying she will be fine. In the next scene, everyone is sitting in the living room, and Andre begins dancing and entertaining everyone, which makes them laugh. Afterwards, they watch the news, when all of a sudden, a reporter begins talking about a man who was murdered at the beach. It is reported that at the crime scene, only traces of human hands and the tracks of some kind of lizard were found. Both Silver and Krisha look at Golden and realize it was her doing, which makes the atmosphere very tense. Golden thus heads to her room, after which Silver confronts Krisha and Andre and angrily asks why they never go to any restaurant or do fun activities like ice skating, playing volleyball, or riding scooters. She also argues that they work so hard but have not received a single penny. Krisha argues that they are still kids who can't have everything they want. Andre then calls her a brat, while Golden is heard snarling from her room in anger. Silver thus rushes to her sister, while Andre assures Krisha that he will smack these brats. Meanwhile, Silver approaches Golden and scolds her for her actions, after which both reveal their fangs and begin hissing at each other. This goes on for a while, and soon they begin singing a song in unison and eventually make up and start laughing. However, their joy is cut short when Andre arrives and punches them both. The mermaid sisters are seen unconscious in bed, with blood coming from their noses and open eyes, so everyone assumes that they are dead. The next morning, Krisha, Andre, and Mitek arrive near a bridge where they dump the dead body wrapped in sheets. Upon returning to the house, Mitek, who is distraught over Silver's death, begins fighting with Andre, and they brutally strike each other. A worried Krisha tries to stop them, but she is also hit during the scuffle, and all of them end up lying unconscious. Not long after, a mysterious woman appears and administers fluids to them, which helps them regain their strength. The scene then cuts to a few days later, where we see that Golden and Silver are still alive, and they are seen emerging from the water. They then approach some random men and proceed to attack them before devouring their hearts. Sometime later, they return to the nightclub, where the three band members are shocked to see them still alive. Silver immediately hugs Mitek, while Andre apologizes to the sisters for what he did to them. However, Golden isn't in the mood for forgiveness, so she angrily bites his thumb off, causing him to scream in pain. Sometime later, Silver goes to a bar, where she begins drinking a lot and speaks with a man. She offers him her fishtail, saying that she will soon gain real legs. It seems like she is so desperate to be with her lover that she has decided to sacrifice her tail and become human. At the same time, Golden goes to see the guy with the strange scar, who is the singer of a metal band and is performing on a stage. Golden wants to participate and sing, but she is pushed into the audience. However, she finally takes the microphone and begins singing alongside the guy while revealing her fangs. Here, it is revealed that the man is actually a mythical creature called Triton, and he soon pulls out a dove and bites its head off. The show turns out to be a success, and afterwards, Triton tells Golden that she needs a lot of practice, which clearly displeases her. The next day, the Mermaid sisters are doing a nude photo shoot in the club, during which they telepathically communicate with each other. Golden tells her sister that Triton told her that if her tail is cut, she will lose her voice and they will never sing together. But Silver says it's just a superstition, since Triton also cut off his horn, and he is still doing fine. She also threatens Golden that she will abandon her and never be seen again if she tries to stop her from doing this. The following day, Silver and Mitek arrive at a shady building where they meet an underground doctor and offer him a lot of money for the transplant. Not long after, the surgery begins, during which Silver's tail is cut off and surgically attached to another woman, while her lower body is sewn onto Silver. The girl begins singing during the procedure, but as soon as her tail is cut off, her voice also goes. Meanwhile, Golden, who is at home, is telepathically communicating with her sister and asks her to back out, but she soon senses what has happened and feels distraught that her sister is no longer a mermaid. The scene then cuts to some time later, where Silver is now in a wheelchair and gradually recovering from her surgery. Shortly after, Mitek arrives with flowers, and the two share a passionate kiss and embrace. They are overjoyed that they can finally be intimate and decide to make love. However, Mitek becomes disgusted when he gets blood on him from her surgical scars. He then concludes that they can never have a normal relationship and chooses to leave her. That night at the club, the owner decides that Silver is no longer useful without her voice and decides to fire her. He then tells Golden that from now on, she will have to perform solo, but she refuses to sing alone and angrily leaves. Meanwhile, Mitek is at a recording studio where he meets a woman who seems interested in him. Elsewhere, Andre decides he doesn't want to be in the band anymore, so he kisses Krisha goodbye while she sleeps before leaving. In another scene, Mitek is seen kissing the new girl, and in the process, he drops the mermaid scale he had been carrying, implying he is letting go of Silver. Meanwhile, at home, Silver senses this and wakes up with tears streaming down her face. The scene then cuts to some time later, when Mitek is now getting married to the new girl he met at the studio. Golden is watching him with anger in her eyes, and even though Silver is heartbroken, she tries to be brave and happy for her beloved. Mitek and the girl officially tie the knot and share a kiss, during which Triton approaches Silver. He tells her that she must eat Mitek before dawn, or she will turn into sea foam and disappear. He also says that they are only on vacation there, and it wasn't meant to be forever, but Silver doesn't seem too worried. Following this, everyone has a great time at the party and spends the night drinking and dancing. Soon, dawn is about to break, during which Silver notices Mitek alone at the dock and approaches him while walking with the help of a cane. She then hugs him tightly, after which the two begin dancing slowly. Meanwhile, Golden is watching from a distance, hoping that her sister will kill the man. Moments later, Silver reveals her fangs and prepares to attack, but at the last moment, she realizes she cannot hurt the one person she loves most. She thus decides to sacrifice herself for his life, and continues hugging and dancing with him. Not long after, morning finally arrives, and Silver tragically turns into sea foam, which shocks Mitek, who doesn't understand what just happened. Upon witnessing this, Golden erupts in fury, so she lunges at Mitek and viciously bites his neck, which leads to his death. Moments later, Andre and the other guests arrive and are horrified by the scene, causing a panicked Golden to flee. The movie ends as she rushes outside and plunges into the ocean from which she came. Subscribe, like, and comment, and be sure to watch this one next.